Hello, welcome to the Two Chicks Homestead Podcast. We're the Two Chicks. Yay!
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Aaron, and we talk about homesteading and living on a small piece of land.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 57.
Yep.
May the 3rd.
Yep.
Almost May the 4th.
Almost.
For all you Star Wars fans out there.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
The youngest or the oldest has already been talking about that.
Yep.
So she's ready.
Yep. May the 4th be with you.
Yep.
But we're doing this on the 3rd.
Yes.
So this is going to be a fun little episode. We're going to go through, well, on Monday, it's our 13th anniversary.
Yes, it was on Monday.
Yes.
On the 1st.
Yes. So May 1st, Beltane.
Yep.
May Day.
Since we couldn't do it on Halloween.
Yep.
Samhain.
Right.
We did it on the exact opposite.
Yep. Which is actually the correct day to do it.
Yeah. Because, Beltane is very...
fertility
yes.
and family
frisky.
And yep. So, yeah, we got it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah. Lucky 13.
And man, have things changed.
Yes.
And we're going to go down a rabbit hole on that.
Yeah. So this kind of came from Amy Dingman's latest episode. Mm-hmm. Again.
Yep.
She hit this one like straight on.
Yeah.
About, I don't even know how to explain it, but that it started, the title was Maybe You're Not a Homesteader. And I remember looking at it going, what the heck, Amy?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. You can't tell me I'm not a homesteader. And then I'm listening to it, and it was like, oh, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a homesteader. And then someone else, too, in her...
Joker Cleese.
Joker Cleese said, it's homesteading when you're getting the home ready. Mm-hmm. And then, like, in 3 to 5 years or so after that, it becomes life-steading. Because now you're setting your life.
Oh, yeah.
And now our life is not consumed with homesteading stuff. Like, we've kind of got it to where, we know what we're doing, and now we have time to kind of venture off.
Step back and play with other stuff.
Yeah, which is, I think, basically what we've been doing all winter.
Right. And I mean, to kind of top this off, we've kind of peaked homestead just this week. Mm-hmm. So we officially have 2 litters out in the rabbitry, and one of the litters is the first doe that was born here, raised here, bred here, and delivered here.
Yeah, so all
full circle,
all on our property, which when you have a small property, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like, I know people listening and people we talk to have pigs and cows and, whatever else. They hatch eggs, like, all the time.
Yeah.
But this, for us, living in city limits on a small little, piece of land.
Right.
To have that is very cool.
And it's huge. I mean, it is peak homesteader for us.
Yeah.
Currently like we're at.
And that's why we got into the rabbits, because we could...
do that.
This was our goal.
Exactly. And I was thinking about that today as we're dealing with some of this chicken stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, it's not all that bad. I mean, we still have the rabbits.
Yeah.
So, but that's going to be a whole episode. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're still okay. We're still okay for right now.
We're still okay. We have 14 hens.
Anyone that's on the village board,
yeah,
just ignore that part.
Yeah. Don't worry. We've already talked to one of them.
But anyway. But yeah, so that's really cool to know that, it's come down this line of planning. I mean, we got the rabbits 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years.
In 2020?
Yeah, Thor's going to be 3 years it was 3 years in March.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're there.
Yeah. Thor is very grumpy old man for being 3 years old.
So's Valentine. Valentine looks pretty grumpy sitting in his cage.
He does. It must be a buck thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Cotton Candy, who's like
bouncy.
Yeah, pet me, love me. But yeah, that's it's all fun to sit here and talk about this stuff. it's awesome, but we want to step back and go and talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Like where we came from.
Yeah.
And how we even ended up here. I know we've talked about this in our first couple episodes, but we're gonna it both hit us. Like that and another podcast that I was listening to, the Sean Ryan show, which is a couple veterans talking back and forth, and one of those that was on there, I'll have to go back and look at the exact one. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Two Lamb, him and Two Lamb talking. So it's a Green Beret and SEAL Team 2 chatting about it, and they talk about growth and stuff. And that little section just like hit me with a ton of bricks. So we're gonna kind of wrap all that stuff into this and chit chat about life steading and growth and where we've ended up and just all the stuff we've done.
Yeah, because we've been doing this podcast for over a year now, and we've pretty much talked mainly about homesteading and homesteading related stuff. And it's not that we're gonna not talk about that,
right?
But there might be some episodes where we just kind of
down a rabbit
go
hole.
off a little bit.
Yeah, take a tangent.
There's more to us than homesteading.
Exactly.
And now we've kind of fine-tuned that to where we can actually focus on some of that stuff.
Yep. So let's kick it off with high school.
High school.
You want to start or you want me to start?
Sure. So I went to a pretty nice high school. I grew up in a very nice little town.
Yeah.
I was a hippie, pagan, witchy, loner girl.
Yeah.
Kind of friends with everybody, but friends with nobody. So, I don't know. I was usually just reading and minding my own business.
Yeah. So you were also kind of the goody two-shoes, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't do any drugs. I didn't smoke. I couldn't even tell you what any of these things... I knew what a cigarette looked like.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what any of this stuff meant. I remember being asked once if I had papers.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what they were talking about. So yeah, I just didn't do any of that stuff. And really, it was done in my high school, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just wasn't in your face, I guess.
Yep. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I'm on the exact opposite.
Probably, yes.
Opposite attract.
Yes.
I was the problem child raising hell, and I was the guy doing just about every freaking drug I could get my hands on back in the day. Definitely had an issue with that in high school. I'm a high school dropout, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Was it a wise decision back then? Yes. Was it a wise decision looking 20 years down the road? Because this should be my 20th reunion this year.
There you go.
20 years down the road, it's worked out.
Yeah. I think we're very successful in how we want to live.
Yep. So, I got up and left. I had my reasons for leaving, and I'm not going to go too deep down that rabbit hole. But it's, at the time, I think it was a wise decision for me. I was not doing well. I bounced from school to school, kind of, going into my senior year. I was moved from one town to another, knew nobody, and that's about when I realized it didn't fit with me. So it was just easier to leave and go make money.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
Got clean. No, what was that? About 15 years ago. Got off of everything. So I've been doing real good with that. Just take it day by day. And we've been doing really good.
Yeah.
So, and then somehow I ended up living in a fifth wheel camper on little slice of property up in Addison, and that's where we kind of met.
Yeah, on Yahoo Chat.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to step in the Wayback Machine, how many of you people were on the Yahoo Chats 20 years ago? Me.
I mean, there's so many. I was on ICQ. Were you on ICQ?
I think so,
I
yeah.
loved ICQ.
AOL.
See, I didn't have AOL, but could you get on AOL without having AOL?
No, you had to have AOL, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't have AOL.
Because AOL was at my dad's, and then Yahoo and AIM, and...
Yeah.
Because AIM finally split out of AOL, and you can get the AOL Instant Messenger.
Maybe that's what I had then.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, I mean... And I was just recently thinking about this, and it's like, as I'm typing on something in our Telegram chat, it's like, this has not gone away.
No, it's gone full circle.
Like, I would be up all hours of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to who knows who. My parents had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I could have been kidnapped, and
yeah,
it was fine.
You're talking to some random dude living in a trailer. And...
Well, yeah, that too. But I remember I was just on the computer and my Yahoo Messenger dinged, and you said, like, who is this?
Yeah, I was bored. I'm like, I saw your name pop up, and it's like, I know your name's on my list. Why are you on my list?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. And then I don't even know what.
I think we just ended up talking because we were both up.
Yeah.
All hours of the night. I couldn't sleep because reality, I had just gotten out of a really horrible relationship.
Yeah.
Very long and horrible relationship where drugs were a main issue with the other party. And I just needed to get away from that.
Yeah, I know I wasn't looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of discovered, we don't even know where we exchanged. It
had to be in one of the Yahoo chats.
Yeah.
And we just got talking in one of the pagan chats
way
back when. And it just, or maybe I even saved it because I saw your name and I remember you chit-chatting a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we never even, we may have gone to one place.
Yes.
Chasers.
Yes, Chasers was a club over in Aurora.
Yeah. But it wasn't very often because I can think of 2 times I went.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I think I'd only been once or twice.
Yeah. So it had to have been, I don't know.
So it had to be something like that. Just save your name because you were chatting in one of the rooms and I was internet stalker.
Not weird at all. But spoiler alert, I'm still alive.
Yep.
Wasn't murdered.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I think you and I came together at the right time.
Yeah. I don't think either of us were looking for anybody.
No.
And I think that's why it worked.
Yeah. I think you and I were just looking for somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down, chit-chat, not deal with any other bullshit, just back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, how's your day? How's things going? You know, why are you on my list?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I had when I was there because I had access to the internet from the building that I was staying at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember finally coming to pick you. Did I pick you up? I think. And
I picked you up.
But I had to have driven over.
You came over to Starbucks. We met. So the first time we met at the Starbucks.
Okay.
About a block down from where I worked.
Okay.
And then from there, I think we dropped your car off at the house, and then, or maybe we.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember picking you up in the parking lot, but
maybe I walked and we came back to. Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember at some point getting the dually or something, and you and I went on a long drive or something just to chit chat.
Yeah, we did a lot of driving.
Yeah, and I think we actually ended up out in this area. You
took me to go stargazing.
Yeah.
Somewhere out here.
Malta.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Because Malta's, I mean, it's not that far.
No, that's about 20 minutes from us.
Yeah, and it was like, where the heck are we going? Like.
Yeah, it was at the back of the dually, and I mean, this thing was a emerald green '97 Dodge Ram 3500. extended cab, 8-foot bed, gooseneck in the bed, and it was great.
It had
The truck nuts underneath.
yes, it did. I remember telling you, do not back into my parents' driveway.
That would have been funny. But yeah, I mean, it worked out really good.
Yeah.
You and I definitely hit it off, and I think I ended up helping you move into your apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and then I lived there by myself for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you moved in.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, we kind of grew together, and it just, we just kind of ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out real good. You had just moved out. You'd got a little bit on time on your own, and you were needing somebody to help out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I, moved in, and we did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There did come a time where I remember you saying you're costing me money living here.
I was nervous. I'd never lived on my own before.
Yep. Because I will admit, I was not making that much money at all back then.
Yeah.
It was like $6 an hour working on trucks and trailers.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided, all right, either I get a pay raise or I go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of kicked me in the butt, and that's where I ended up leaving and going to where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And then not long after that, the place I worked at closed down, so then I was out of work until then I got another job, and
yep.
Yeah, it all kind of just
it meshed and
fell
worked
into place, yeah.
So, yeah, that was like early us, just before dating, and
yeah,
trying to figure things out and work things out together, and we were together for what, about a year and a half before I asked?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember getting the ring. I think you kind of knew I was going to get it.
Yeah.
And then dropped you off at work, and then I went to go ask your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Permission and stuff, because it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because my parents got engaged Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then I think my brother got engaged Christmas Eve, so then
probably
we also got engaged Christmas Eve.
Yep, but I did it legit. I actually stopped over at your parents' house with the ring in my hand and asked permission, and then I picked you up and was going to ask you at work, and I got the look.
So I worked at a construction company.
Yes.
And so Christmas Eve is a skeleton crew. And so there was just like the old grumpy guy working and one of the managers, and you walk in with roses, and it was just, I could just feel the death shooting out of my eyes, like, don't you dare ask me. I'd only been there for a couple of months.
Something like that, yeah.
I was like, don't you dare
No,
ask me.
No,
here.
it had to be a year.
I think I was only there for 6 months. I started in June, and then it was Christmas Eve.
All right, maybe. Because I thought you were there for a year.
No.
All right. Well, either way,
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
So then you just gave me the flowers and turned around and
Yep.
came back home.
Yep. And then I asked you at home.
Yep.
I think we're...
It was in the kitchen.
Yeah, were we getting ready to head out for something?
I don't think I'd even taken my coat off from coming home.
Probably not. I think you're probably right on that. So.
And then we got married a year and a half after that.
Yep. We got married May 1st. So that was December 24th, 23rd, somewhere around there. So about 5 months, a year and 5 months later.
Yeah.
Got it all set up, little tiny church. Mm-hmm. Then we had the party at Prairie Landing, which is a golf course in the area.
Yeah, the church was like an 1800s settlement place.
Yeah.
So not like a churchy church, just a wedding church.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was really photo op.
Yeah.
Quality.
I mean, looking back, it was just all, cliche kind of stuff. And I wish we had done stuff how we wanted. But you just kind of get, wrapped up into, like, tradition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think you and I would semi-agree to skip the reception.
Yeah.
and just have a small party with the people that were close to us.
Yeah, it was just a lot. You know, it's just
And
a lot of people that you've never seen before because it's friends of your parents or whatever, and it's just like, okay.
And it's expensive.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like
now.
10 years later.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's you and I our tastes have definitely changed. Like, we could very easily go out and get married at the pond.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. I mean, just how we are.
Yeah. Well, I'd wanted an outside wedding, but you just get nervous planning that far in advance and having backups and...
Yep, backups to backups and...
But then, I mean, we had a life cycle celebrant officiator wedding, and then I got into that and did it for a while. And I would do weddings where it was just like the three of us. So, I mean, you do whatever you want.
And I will say that you doing that saved us a couple of times. And when we first had the kids, that was definitely something that helped.
Yeah.
Bring money in and be able to get us through a few months where we were cutting it close.
Yeah. It's something. It's still something.
Yep.
That I want to get back into. I just haven't pulled the trigger.
Yeah, well, at least we found all your paperwork.
Yeah.
So, that may be coming. Weddings by Two Chicks Homestead.
Yeah.
Or weddings at Two Chicks Homestead.
Yes. Yeah. At least the neighbor.
Yeah. That's half of our property anyway.
Yeah. That's true.
So.
But yeah, and then we did Salem for our...
I know. That is so cliche.
What is that?
Salem?
Honeymoon.
Yes, honeymoon. Yes. Salem, Massachusetts. So 2 pagans. The night after our wedding, haul ass out to Salem, Massachusetts. Holy shit, that was a fun trip.
Yeah, we were very close to moving.
Yeah. Like,
this was pre-gun. Like, we were not super into any of that stuff yet.
I think I had just bought the shotgun.
Yeah.
And I think I might have gotten a handgun.
Yeah. Maybe your grandpa's or something.
I think I had bought the Smith & Wesson.
Okay.
Because I know I had bought the shotgun.
I just don't remember that being an issue at the time. Because Massachusetts is not very...
I remember researching it.
Okay.
And going,
maybe not.
Because, I mean, we hadn't had concealed carry in Illinois yet.
Yeah.
So... I was busy looking up their laws, and it's like...
Yeah, I guess it was, because of the next year we got those Pennsylvania permits to go to Savannah.
Yep.
But then we had to go to Iowa...
To get clothes.
To get clothes for concealed carry, because that's the only place we could actually carry to try clothes on.
Yep. So the old school, I don't know if anybody remembers this, you used to be able to mail your FOID in to Pennsylvania.
That's so wild.
Okay, so Pennsylvania, back in the day...
Was it Pennsylvania or was it Utah?
Pennsylvania, because we didn't get to Utah.
Okay.
All right, so we took the FOID card. We mailed it in on Monday.
Like a copy of it.
A copy of it. The next Monday, we had our Pennsylvania concealed carry back in the mail.
Yeah, so we could carry in like 10 other states, but not our own.
13 or 26. It was something weird.
It was like, really?
Yeah.
So then
we could carry as non-residents.
Yeah, so we had to drive to a mall in Davenport, Iowa, to go shopping, which is now the same mall that my parents go shopping.
I know.
It's so wild.
But it's like, we have regular clothes, and we have our guns that are unloaded.
Yeah.
Driving out as soon as we cross the river. It's like, all right, let's load the guns up.
We stopped at a, it
Bob
wasn't
Evans.
a Bass. No, it was that other gun store that was up north. Cabela's. We stopped at a Cabela's.
Okay.
Or at least we did on the way back to
Yeah, something. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I thought it was Cabela's.
Okay. But either way, we're, just stop right across the border, load our guns up.
Maybe it wasn't Cabela's. Maybe that was in Indiana.
Yeah, that was Indiana going to Savannah.
Okay.
Because we had to stop at the Cabela's in Indiana
to
load up for the drive down to Savannah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I mean, that needed to happen for us to go to Savannah. Now, Savannah's a safe city.
Yeah.
I think. But the fact that you and I were out walking around at all hours of the night.
And I think we went through, especially going to Bonaventure, we went through some shady areas.
Oh, yeah. And we had researched this already, and it's like, okay, we need to discuss this.
Yeah, and it was just one of those things where it's like, shoot, yeah, let's conceal carry because we can.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's like as soon as we drive back, get in Indiana, and so we stop at the Cabela's at the border.
Like, well, we're home.
Fuck. Back to reality. Can't carry my gun at home.
Oh my God. And yet here we are.
Yeah.
10 years later, we've moved 20 miles away.
Yeah, moved 20 miles away. I carry my gun pretty much everywhere we go because we have concealed carry now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nice thing is everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did Savannah the year after our honeymoon trip, and that was the last vacation.
Pretty much, and then I got pregnant.
Yeah, and then it was all moving vacations.
Yes. Always on the hottest day of the year.
Yes, never on the coldest day of the year.
We always moved in the summer.
Yep.
It was always August or late July or something.
Yep.
Always.
Yep. Take a week off of work and get the shit packed up in the apartments and moved into the house, and 2 years later get bored with the HOA and then move down to Bolingbrook.
Yeah. Which we needed to conceal carry in Bolingbrook.
Yeah. I don't even think I had my permit yet.
No, I don't think so. We should have.
Yeah. I think we actually got our permits when we were down there.
Yeah.
I think we finally had enough money to actually go take the damn classes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we went through some unstable financial times.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, you really look at it. We've had some rough goes, but
we're still here.
We're here. We're doing good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think all things considered, we're doing very well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lot of hours I've put in. It's a lot of hours that you've put in dealing with me not being here.
Yeah.
Because I go work. I do what we can.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done some sales and you've done some stuff with weddings that have helped out, definitely. But yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice to make those choices that we made.
Yeah. And
the best thing we did was you stay home after you got pregnant with the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, what was that, 9 years ago?
Almost 10.
Yeah. Yeah. God, almost 10.
Yep. We almost have had a child for a decade.
I know. And that's going to be like in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, it's that was probably the best decision we've ever made, was have you stay home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time it was a financial decision.
Right.
Because I think I would have made like $20 a week if I went back
No,
to
it was, we had it broke down to month, and it was $20.
Oh, $20 a month.
$20 a month.
Yeah.
Before we put gas in your car to drive to work.
Yeah.
You know, if we're paying for healthcare, it's like, fuck that. We're just going to raise our own kids.
Yeah. if my kids are going to be screwed up, I want to be responsible.
Exactly. And they've done really good.
I've done really good screwing them up, too.
Well, I have, too. I'm right there with you.
But there are screw-ups.
Exactly.
No, they're very good. They're
yes,
good kids.
they are good. They do awesome at talking to other people, which you and I have problems
Yes. Yeah. Luckily, the one is social.
Yes.
We couldn't have taught her how to be that. The little one is a homebody.
Yeah. But she's opening up.
Yeah.
If she likes you, she'll talk to you. That's her.
Yeah.
That's the biggest metric.
That's the test.
So.
Yep.
But that's kind of normal with kids her age. And
yeah, I mean, she went through COVID, 2 years of not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because all of our favorite places were closed down.
Yeah. We're the oldest one. I mean, we were out all the time. Just going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't.
Yep. And we had to do speech therapy, too, with
the
youngest. That was a year's worth of stuff out here.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of funny to teach one to talk and
I know.
try and teach the other one to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, speech was a lot of time telling the older one to be quiet.
Yes. Yes. We're still doing that 6 years later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, so now we're pretty much out here.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was, we need just somewhere quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And we need somewhere where the girls can raise.
Yeah.
Or be raised up.
And I think we're just slowly working. I mean, we went from apartment to HOA to a very tight neighborhood, very busy neighborhood, to another neighborhood, but in a country town.
Right.
So eventually we will get to our acreage.
Yeah. Or 5 to 10 acres. I mean, it's gonna take hard work on my end to save the money.
Yeah. But where we are right now, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean, we can walk out our backyard and feel like we've just driven to a forest preserve.
Right, and you and I actually talked about that last week as we're dealing with all this stuff that's
Yeah.
going on in town. It's like, we don't need to be out front.
Yeah.
We can just walk out back and not deal with people.
Yeah. When I'm out front, I feel like, I just said this the other day, I feel very exposed out front. I don't do a lot of stuff out front. And it's funny, I just posted that as a homesteader, I love gardening. I love being outside. I freaking hate yard work.
Oh, I know.
Like having to be out front and like dealing with the everyday just stuff to fit into the neighborhood is like a waste of time to me. I want to be in back, walking up and down, the
Right.
lane out back, being by the pond, gardening. I don't want to be out front weeding just to have my neighbors feel like they live in a nice neighborhood. Not that our yard is terrible, but
My yard is nothing but dandelion, so I'm not worried about it.
yeah. We have to mow like every 3 times compared to the neighbors because their grass
It's all weeds.
is so green and flush or lush and
Yeah, it's the golf course yard.
yeah. And then there's us.
Yep, who has the experimental dandelion farm.
Yes. Yeah, well.
Yeah, anybody who pulls up to our house will see that sign right out
Yep.
front.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I like being in the back because nobody can really see us.
I mean, we have that huge porch on the front end,
I know.
which is why we bought this house.
I know.
And we don't use it.
Yeah.
Unless the girls are out front playing.
Yeah. I mean, I like sitting out there and drinking my coffee, but then somebody walks by and then I have to talk to them, and then it's like,
Yeah.
screw this.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So yeah, it could be worse, but we're working
Right.
towards it.
I mean, we have gotten to the point now where it's hard for us to stand still.
Yeah.
Like, you and I constantly have to be doing something.
Which I think is what makes it hard to study for this ham test.
Yes.
Is because I can't just sit there, and I know I need to. I need to sit there for a while to let it like sink in, and I just cannot get myself to do that.
Right. I definitely understand that. General is not easy. It's not easy for somebody who doesn't have the electrical background.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of do this stuff for a living. I know electronics. I had a hard time with general. I had a super hard time with extra.
Yeah.
Like, I am not going to lie about that. Extra took me almost a year,
Yeah.
where general was like 3 or 4 months.
Yep. Yeah, I have a goal, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah,
So-
because we got to get it next 2 months before they change the question
Yeah.
pool. Which, I mean, it's not going to be all of the questions. It's going to be like 6.
I know, but it would just be nice to just be done.
Yeah, I totally get it. So, it's... You and I have definitely gotten to a point where we want to learn stuff constantly and move
Yeah.
forward and do things. We'll pick a topic or pick something and jump at it and learn it, like gardening or learning chickens or learning how to butcher an animal. when we get into that, we whole hog into it,
Yeah.
and that's what we do constantly for an X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it has helped us get where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably really helped with the 2020, 21, 22 bullshit that's been going on,
Mm-hmm.
to not get sucked down the hole of, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, we can stay positive for 3 years and just roll through this and not worry about what's going on.
Yeah. Just stay busy with their own stuff.
Right. And now that we've kind of gotten to the point where we have all of our stuff that we're doing, it's like, okay, I'm looking for the next thing to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to keep moving forward. You know, I've already flown through all the ham radio stuff.
Yeah.
I did that in a year and a half. And now I'm looking at what I can do now to not get drugged down to that hole of, shit, I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got the rabbits handled, we got the chickens handled, we got the butchering handled, we've got the freeze dryer kind of going back and forth. I mean, that might be my thing, is I need to start getting into the freeze dryer.
Yeah.
And learn that thing inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
So, that might be the next thing. But I've noticed, and this is where that show that from Sean Ryan that I was talking about, Two Lamb, where he's talking about you continually need to grow yourself and keep busy, or within 6 months you're going to be depressed.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. Like, I get drugged down if I'm not constantly doing something.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed last fall, I was getting to where it's like, I'm homesteaded out. Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. We kind of slowed down on the podcast a little bit just because it was like, I don't even want to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I got into writing with Amy. And I think that's what helped me survive last winter.
Yeah, I mean, that kept you busy a lot.
Yeah, which, I mean, I got like, that's what I did. Like, every second I had a chance, I was writing. And now it's like, I mean, early in the winter, I was like, shoot, how am I going to garden and write at the same time? Well, it kind of tapered off to where now it's in a phase where I can step away, and I haven't needed to get back into it because I'm still, like, in that phase.
Right.
But it's like, okay, this is going to work out, and it will be there when I'm ready.
Exactly. And now it's, once we taper off with the gardening, you can go back to the book.
Right.
And I can go back to some other stuff.
Maybe that'll just be my, cold weather thing.
Yeah, that very well could be. I mean, I know a lot of my nice summer stuff, and I know this is weird, is the ham radio stuff, because I can do it later at night.
Yeah.
You know, I hear more stations the later we go at night.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the winter, it cuts off to 400 or 500 miles at like 6 o'clock. And we're just finishing up dinner. I don't really want to talk to people 600 miles around me.
Right.
I want to talk to the dude that's across the pond in England calling CQ looking for contacts.
Yeah.
So, and that's either on the weekends or
well, now
late
with
at
the
night.
digital stuff.
Yeah, the digital stuff is awesome. And I'm going down that rabbit hole right now. I think that's my current, I'm learning this right now. And then I'm going to jump into something else. Because this stuff is not going to take long to learn.
Yeah.
I've already got it kind of set up where I have the hotspot here at the house. I've dabbled in a little bit of Linux just to get this thing up and running. I've learned the new radio. And now it's like, okay, I need the funds to replace both radios in the cars. Because I blew my radio up in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get rid of your radio so your radio doesn't die in the middle of a trip, so to speak. And we'll put something solid in your car that we know is going to last. And it's going to be a new Yaesu product. It's probably going to be the brand new FTM 500 when they come out. And we're just going to match both the cars. And that's going to be all digital, but it's going to be analog also. And then at some point, I want to get a digital node here at the house set up where we can set up a more or less a ham radio chat room for the entire community.
Yeah, like a homesteading net.
Yes, a homesteading UHF, VHF net or room to go into where all the ham radio people in the homestead community can get into this.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimate goal. But I have to have set up at the house to be able to get up and do this and learn how to do it. So when I go to try and set it up, it's not like, okay, I broke that. You know, it's definitely a learning curve, but I've got my station onto digital finally, which has been really fun. It's fun to sit down here and listen to a repeater that's 20 miles away, and I hear a New Zealand station pop up on that repeater.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because when you first got into ham radio, we were kind of against the digital thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, we're getting into this because if the grid goes down, this is what we use. Why would we have digital? Because that's useless.
Right.
Well, now it's gotten to where you have the time and the headspace to do something fun as a luxury add-on.
Absolutely.
To everything else you've learned.
Yeah, because I have the high-quality HF station where I can reach out and touch. I've heard Australia, New Zealand. I talked to a guy in Scotland on this radio, and that's radio to radio simplex on HF. Mm-hmm. I've done that, and it works out really nice. This radio that I have here is awesome. Anybody who's seen our live streams can hear the audio come through on it, and it's pretty cool to see it.
Yeah.
I've only done a couple of them, but I'll sit down here for an hour or two and just stream the audio off the radio and just make some contacts.
Yeah.
That's coming back. But the digital is nice because it's armchair and I'm not stepping over people.
Yeah.
So, and it's just something to play with.
Yeah.
And it's something you can play with if you don't have a general.
Yeah.
So, we just need to teach you how to get it all set up and move things around, and
yeah,
you get it. It's easy. It's easy.
Well, we've gone a little longer than we originally planned.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
So, but I would be interested to see what you guys think of this. Let's chat about it in the Telegram group or shoot us an email. Let us know what you guys are up to this year and what you do to keep learning and moving forward and staying sharp and on your toes.
It doesn't have to be homesteading related.
Right. I don't want just homesteading stuff. I want to hear what you guys are playing with. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to hear if you're learning mechanics or you're learning how to hunt or you're learning how to fish or you're learning pool or something like that.
Yeah.
Anything.
Any other hobby that you do.
Right.
When you need a break.
Absolutely.
From what becomes the everyday stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, your thing to sit down and just veg out and have fun. So, yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for this week.
Yeah.
So we will catch you guys next week.
Or next time.
Yeah. All right. Catch you guys later.
See you on the homestead where something is always growing, eating, or cooking.